friends, welcome. My name is Tennessee. Today I am bringing you your week 3 of a 4-week progression into side crow. So take breaks, take water, do whatever you need. If you don't feel like you're ready for the full expression today, no worries. I'll give you options so you can take those options as well. So with that said, you might need your blocks today. So if you have blocks, I would suggest just having those ready. Otherwise you can use books or anything around the house to help elevate the ground or bring the ground up. I always start my classes with a chakra clearing. If you don't know what chakras are, there's 7 energy sources throughout your body. They start at the base of your spine and they work their way up through the crown of your head. So I just want you to check in, notice what feels good, notice if any discomforts, but get out of your head, get into your body, whether that be through the posture or your breath. So today we'll start on our backs in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So come all the way back, bring the soles of your feet together, your knees out wide, and come all the way down. Now, we're going to be here for the first few minutes of class, so if this is too much for you to start, you can always place blocks underneath your knees, up into your hip crease. You can always bring your knees up into your midline, or you can lay in a full Shavasana, legs straight out in front of you. Just go ahead and settle in, get comfortable, close your eyes, inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. Just see if you can surrender a little bit further onto your mat. Releasing any tension, checking in with your head, your neck, your jaw, your shoulders, your hips, your low back, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. Now this time, inhale through your nose. Find a constriction in the back of your throat, and then exhale through your nose. This is your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling through your nose, and then exhaling through your nose. Just see if you can make your inhale the same length as it is your exhale with the same intensity. I want you to carry this breath throughout your practice today, through each posture, through each movement, as we go through. Now just start to clear your mind. Bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your first chakra. This is your I am space. Your foundation, your safety, your security. This is where everything starts. Now just check in, notice what feels good, notice if any discomfort. On your inhale, bring your focus, your energy, awareness into your second chakra, the space below your belly button, your sacral. Your I feel space, where you house your emotions, your desires, your sexuality, also known as your mother womb. Now slowly start to draw the energy up into your third chakra, the space above your belly button, your solar plexus, your I do space. This is what drives you, where your passions, your creativity, your power all lie. Now gently work your energy up into your fourth chakra, your heart. Your I love space, your space of relationships, self-acceptance, and unconditional love. Now gently guide the energy up into your fifth chakra, your throat, your I speak space, your space of communication, your truth. Now gently guide the energy up into your sixth chakra, the spaces between your eyebrows, your I see space, your space of intuition, your third eye. And then finally, take your focus, your energy, your awareness all the way above your head to your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. Your I understand space, your path to enlightenment. Now I want you to draw the energy all the way down to the base of your spine and then inhale it through the 7 chakras through the crown of your head. Notice if anything gets stuck, of any discomforts, or if it feels good. Work to bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to those areas throughout your class today. One big clearing breath in. Audible exhale, let that go. Nice work, guys. Just flutter your eyes open. Hug your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Find Apanasana, wind relieving pose. Now slowly drop both knees over to your right side. Bring your arms out to a T. Take your gaze left. Find your supine twist. Work to keep your shoulders grounding. Inhale, slowly bring everything back into your midline. Exhale, supine twist to your left. Gaze right. Inhale, slowly come back through your midline. Find yourself a happy baby. Send the soles of your feet up as you draw your knees back and down. Plug your shoulder blades back and down. Maybe rock side to side, left to right. If it's too much to grab the blades of your feet, you can always grab underneath your thighs. Just press down that way. You want to keep your tailbone grounding. Just extend through your spine. One more breath. Now go ahead and place the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Reach your arms straight up to the ceiling. Fingers are spread wide. Inhale, and then exhale, lift your shoulder blades up off your mat as you draw your knees closer into your shoulders. Good. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift it back up. Keep it going here. Find your Bakasana crunches, your crow crunches. Breathe. You've got 4, 3, 2. Now hold it at the top, and 1. Exhale, slowly release. Keep your legs where they're at. Bring your palms to touch. Draw your hands up over your head. Inhale, and then exhale. Slowly bring both arms over to your right side. Bring it back through your midline. And then exhale, take it to your left. Working through the external oblique, feeling the sensations, squeezing, breathing. Don't hold your breath. Give me 4 more. You've got 3. We've got 2 and 1. Keep it going. Nice work, guys. Slowly bring everything back into your midline. Let that go. Cross at your ankles. Rock and roll front to back all the way to a tabletop. Cross at your knees. Send your feet back behind you. Stack your shoulders to your wrists, hips in line with your knees. Your belly button pulls into spine. Now option to ground through the tops of your feet. Option to tuck your toes under. Inhale, cow pose. Gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat. Tuck in, round up. Donut through your shoulder blades. Pull your hip bones up to your rib cage. Breathe. Maybe add some movement side to side, left to right. Let that feel good in your body. Inhaling, cow pose. Gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up. Let's do one more round. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Work your way back to your neutral spine. Extend your right leg long behind. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Reach your left arm forward. Palm face in. Now find your pulse. Lift and lower. Keep your right hip bone pointing down toward your mat. Active through your core for 4, 3, 2. Hold everything lifted and 1. Exhale, draw your elbow to your knee and hold. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Give me 1 more. Exhale, draw everything up and in. Hold it here. Plant your left hand down. Keep your knee hugging in. Find TikToks out and in. Outside your elbow, back to your midline for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly work your way back to a tabletop. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, dome up. Let's do 1 more round. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Work your way back to a neutral spine. Extend your left leg long behind. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Right arm reaches out in front, palm faces in. Find your pulse, lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, hold everything lifted, and 1. Exhale, draw your elbow to your knee and hold. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, bring it in. 1 more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw everything up and in. Hold it here. Plant your right hand down. Hug your left knee up and in. TikToks out and in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly work your way back down. Now just tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone high, find your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your first down dog of your class, feet are about hip width distance. Take your gaze in between your feet, torso to your thighs. Breathe, ground through your first finger and your thumb. One more breath. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, roll into a high plank, hold it here. Lower all the way down to your bellies. Hug your elbows into your rib cage, untuck your toes, ground through the tops of your feet, through your hip bones. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift your chest up, hug your elbows towards the back wall. Exhale, slowly lower. Let's do that again. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift it up, hug back. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, inhale, Cobra Locust. Hands and feet lift up off your mat. Ground through your hip bones and the soft part of your belly. Option to reach your arms back behind, palms face down. Option, bound locust. Interlace your hands, lift your chest. Take your gaze to the edge of your mat. Breathe. Exhale, slowly release. Plant your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, tailbone lifts. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let that go. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Ragdoll pose. Reach for opposite elbows. Sway your bodies left to right. Maybe nod your head yes or no. Bend your knees as much as you need. Release the tension through the small of your back and the back of your legs. One more breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Belly button pulls into spine. Shoulders melt away from your ears. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep all the way up. Look up, bring your palms to touch. Exhale, find a side bend over to your right. Keep your hips and shoulders square to the top of your mat. Breathe. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, switch it out. Find the side bend over to your left. Feel the stretch through your right side. Inhale, bring everything back into your midline. Exhale, forward fold. Draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to your high plank. Now lower down halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Hug your elbows into your rib cage. You can draw your knees down to your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Knees and hips lift up off your mat. Arms are straight, gaze ahead. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, let it go. Pedal at your feet. Wrap your triceps towards your ears. Find an external rotation in your inner thighs. Take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Look up, bring your palms to touch. Exhale, find a side bend over to your right. Inhale, bring everything back into your midline. Exhale, take the side bend over to your left. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, breathe. Let it go. Now this time, take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs. Elbow draws back and down. Belly's in, chest is lifted, arms are strong. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, Purvi to Utkatasana for a twist. Take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Now work on your twist here. Hands stacked to the middle of your chest. Gaze up to your right elbow. Now check your knees, make sure they're still in one line. If not, just adjust your left hip back. One more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, sit it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Now open up your hip, stack your hips, keep your shoulders square to the top of your mat. Feel your stretch through your right side. One more breath. Exhale, square your hip. Bring your right knee to your left elbow. Hold. Inhale, three-legged dog. Sweep your right heel high. Exhale, step through. Warrior one. Back foot's grounded. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Hip shoulders are square. Inhale, arms sweep up. Now sink into your front thigh. Now look, exhale, plant your hands down, sit it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale is downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Now square your hip, bring your left knee to right elbow, hold. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, and shoulders are square, arms are strong. Exhale, plant it down, send it back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let that go. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Separate jump, uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs, elbow draws back, belly's in. Look up, palms to touch. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Purvita Uttanasana for a twist. Stack shoulders, thumbs to the middle of your chest. One more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, sit it back. Chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips. Exhale, square your hip. Bring your right knee to left elbow, hold. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, hips, shoulders are square, arms are strong. Exhale, plant it down, send it back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Square your hip, left knee to right elbow, hold. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Good work, guys. Bring it down, send it back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let that go. Woo. Work your way down to a child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch, knees out wide, draw your hips back, third eye down. Find your breath. Check back in with your body, slowly you're breathing. We have one more breath here. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. Lift your forearms up. Roll forward. Tuck your pelvis under. Stack your shoulders to your elbows. Elbows to wrists. Exhale, child's pose push-up. Hug your elbows into your side bodies as you lower down to a hover. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, send it back. Keep it going here. Now you can take it at your own tempo, at your own pace. You want your elbows hugging into your side bodies and pointing back. This is the proper form of a chaturanga dandasana through the upper body. It also builds your arm strength for your arm balances. Give me two more. You have one more here. Can you hold it down to your hover? Can you micro pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, send that back. Bring your palms to touch, knuckles of your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Let that go. You have one more breath. And go ahead and plant your hands down to the top of your mat. Tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone high. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, pyramid. Step to the inside of your right hand. Now step your left foot closer into a 45, grounding through the blade of your back foot. Your front knee is straight. The option to place blocks to frame your front foot, to bring the ground up. Leading your torso to the top of your thigh, forehead to your shin or to your knee. If you don't have blocks, you can just walk your hands further back. Feel the stretch to the hammy tie-in. Breathe into it. You want to keep your hips in one line, so if you need to step your back foot closer in, just step it back in. You have one more breath. Inhale, revolved pyramid. So place your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Extend your right arm up. Work your shoulders back to stack. Feel the twist in the spine. One more breath. Exhale, revolved half moon. Now just shift your weight forward. Send your left heel high. Keep your shoulders back to stack. Fight for it, fight for control, fight for balance. One more breath here. Exhale, step it back, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Ground through the blade of your back foot. Your front knee stacks to your front ankle. Work for the heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Gaze down your front middle finger. Really sink into the front thigh. One more breath. Exhale, revolve Trikonasana. Straighten out your right leg as you draw your right arm up and back, left arm down. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle. Cartwheel your right into the inside of your calf. Keep pointing your big toe down to your mat. Grounding through your big toe. Work your shoulders back to stack. Lift up with the external oblique. So I don't care that you're touching the ground here. The tendency when we touch the ground is to roll our left shoulder into your midline. I want you to open it back up. You have one more breath here. Exhale, wide forward fold to the side edge of your mat. RCYT Practicioner. Walk your hands shoulder width distance in between your feet, torso to your thighs, crown of your head down. Just breathe. Let that feel good. You have one more breath. Slowly walk your hands back to the side edge of your mat. Take your right hand in front of your left foot. Extend your left arm up. Take your gaze up. Find that twist in your spine. Exhale, plant your left hand back down. This time, take your gaze all the way to the top of your mat. Go ahead and rotate your left toe or your right toes forward. Find your dragon lunge. Now push forward with the ball of your left foot, and then slowly lower your left knee down. Untuck your back toes. Hug your right knee into your shoulder. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. Give one more breath. Now option to come all the way down to your forearms, option to stay lifted. You can also take blocks, place them underneath your forearms, keep hugging your right knee in. If you're down to your forearms, lift back up, plant both hands down, spread your fingers wide, tuck your back toes under, lift through your left knee. Now open up to a side plank. So stack your right foot on top of your left. Stack your shoulders, lift up with the external oblique. Option to drop your bottom knee down and keep lifting. Option to stagger your top foot. Option for the hover, hold it here. Good, now keep the twist in your spine. Plant your right hand down. Twisted Chaturanga Dandasana, lower halfway. Square the hips, come all the way down to your belly. Woo! Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Krishnasana, let that go. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, pyramid. Step to the inside of your left hand. Step your right foot closer in. Ground to the blade of your back foot. Straighten out your left leg. Frame your front foot with both hands. And just draw your forehead closer to your shin or to your knee. Option for blocks, always to bring the ground up wherever you need the support. You have one breath. Exhale, revolve pyramid. Place your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Extend your left hand up. Work your shoulders back to stack. One more breath. Exhale, revolve half move. Shift your weight forward. Send your right heel high. Work your shoulders further back. Keep the twist. One more breath. Exhale, send it back, or open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Now ground through the blade of your back foot. Work for the heel to arch alignment, front knee stacks to your front ankle, sink into your front thigh, gaze down your front middle finger. Inhale, reverse Trikonasana. Straighten out your left leg as you draw your left arm up and back, right arm down. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle, cartwheel your left hand to the inside of your calf. Work your shoulders back to stack, lift up with the external oblique. Just breathe. Exhale, wide forward fold, RCYT Practicioner to the side edge of your mat. Walk your hands or shoulder width distance further back, draw your torso down, crown of your head pulls all the way down. One more breath. Go ahead and walk your hands back to the side edge of your mat, take your left hand in front of your right foot, and just extend your right arm straight up. Extend to the crown of your head. Go ahead and lower your right hand down. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Crawl your weight forward. Find your dragon lunge. Push forward with the ball of your right foot and then slowly draw your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Option to stay lifted. Option to come all the way down to your forearms. Now check your front knee. Make sure it's still over your front ankle. If not, just inch your left foot forward. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. One more breath. If you're down to your forearms, lift back up. Now tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, open up to a side plank. Just stack your left foot on top of your right, work your hips to stack, shoulders stack, reach up. Right forward here, you have your options. Drop your bottom knee, find the stagger, find the hover. Now keep the twist in your spine, place your left hand down. Lower down, twisted chaturanga. Square the hips, come all the way back down to your belly. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. This time, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs. Tailbone draws back, belly's in. Chest is lifted, arms are strong. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Find that twist in your spine. Work your shoulders to stack. This time, come up onto your tippy toes. Lower your hips down to a hover. Find your balance, find your control. Inhale, lift it back up. Lower your heels down. Keep it going here. Find balance, lower down to a hover. Lift it back up. Give me one more. Good, everybody find the forward fold. Heel toe your feet to a hip width, Padangusthasana. Take your peace fingers to your big toes. Use your biceps to pull further down. Let your elbows come out to the side and forward. Let your head hang heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need. One more breath. Release your big toes. Heel toe your feet together. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of your left knee for Uttanasana. Come back up onto your tippy toes. Lower your hips down to a hover. Inhale, lift up. Lower your heels down. Keep it going. Find balance, find control. One more. Good, guys. Everybody find the forward fold. Heel toe your feet to a hip width. This time find Padangusthasana, palms of your hands underneath the soles of your feet. Work your toes to your wrist crease. If that's too much, you can always just hug yourself into your midline. Reaching for opposite elbows. Letting your head just hang. Go ahead and release your feet. Heel toe your toes together. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant down, sit it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Step to the inside of your right hand. Your back heel is lifted. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Hip shoulders are square. Arms are strong. Now if your back heel's pulling down, lift back up. Active through your left glute. Work your shoulders back to stack. Look up, palms to touch. Exhale, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Purvita Ashtachandrasana, prayer twist. Stack shoulders, thumbs to move your chest, gaze up. One more breath. Exhale, find that dragon lunge one more time. Push forward, lower your back knee down. This time, find a half pigeon. So heel toe your right foot over to your left wrist. Parallel your shin to the top of your mat. Ground through your pinky toe. Now keep pulling your hips down and forward, active through your glutes. This is an active pigeon. So inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center. Find the twist in your spine, and then take your right elbow to the inside of your right foot. Work your shoulders back to stack, gaze up over your left shoulder. If this is too much, take your forearm down to the top of your mat. Bring your left hand to the small of your back, work on the twist. Just breathe. One more breath. Exhale, plant both hands underneath your shoulders. Square your hips and shoulders back to the top of your mat. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your your right heel high to the sky. Option to open up your hip. Find your hip circles, let that go. And then slowly lower your right foot down to meet your left. Pedal out your feet. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Step to the inside of your left hand. Back heel's lifted, front knee stacks, hip shoulders are square, arms are strong. Look up, palms to touch. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Purvita Ashishandrasana prayer twist. Stack shoulders, thumbs to move your chest, gaze up. Check your back heel. Make sure it's in line with the ball of your foot. Exhale, dragon lunge. Plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. Push forward. Lower your right knee down and tuck your right toes. Now again, find the half pigeon. Heel toe your left foot over to your right wrist. Parallel your shin to the top of your mat. Draw your knee down. Active pigeon here. So you want to activate through the glutes and through your core. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, find the twisted pigeon. Bring your hands to your heart center, twist over to your right. Bring your left elbow to the inside of your left foot. Work on the twist, gaze up over your right shoulder. If this is too much, take your forearm to the top of your mat, hand to the small of your back, work on that twist. Hold it here. One more breath. Exhale, plant your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift your torso, tuck your back toes under. Send your left heel high, three-legged dog. Now open up your hip, find your hip circles. Let that feel good. Slowly lower your left foot down to meet your right. Take your gaze back to the top of your mat, separate jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana, toes to touch, knees to touch. Sweep your arms up, look up, palms to touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Come up onto your tippy toes, find the twist in your spine. Squat all the way down. Now working into our side crow. So, plant your hands down to the side edge of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Grip your mat like you're gripping a basketball. You're going to take your right elbow into your right hip. Create a shelf with your tricep. Left elbow comes to your knees. You want to keep your knees stacked. Shift your weight forward. Take your gaze to the edge of your mat or out to the top of your mat and then lift both feet up. And find your balance, find your control. Now, you can stay there if you've got it. Otherwise, you can take a block. Just place it a little bit further than your hands. Spread your fingers wide. You can take your temple to your block and your gaze ahead. You can also draw your third eye to your block. You can also place the block underneath the shoulder. So, you're going to shift your weight. I'm going to take my shoulder onto my block and then practice lifting my feet up, coming back down. You can shift it further, taking your temple or your cheek, lift up, come back down. Wherever you need support, if you need two blocks, you can place one underneath your shoulder, one underneath your cheek. Now, once you're done, and once you've had enough practice, find your forward fold. Heel toe your feet to a hip width, find your ragdoll pose, sway your body left to right, let that go. Breathe. We're going to take it to our left side. I'm going to face the top or the side edge of my mat so you can see. Now heel toe your feet together. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana, toes to touch, knees to touch, arms sweep up. Look up, palms to touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Find the twist over to your left side. Come up onto your tippy toes. Lower all the way down to a hover. Ooh, find your balance. Now plant your hands down to the top of your mat. To the side edge of your mat, fingers are spread wide. Hug your elbows into your hip, into your knees. Shift your weight forward, lift up, find your balance, find your control. Maybe that you need to practice shifting and stacking and holding. Again, you can place blocks anywhere you need support. Don't be afraid to use your props. They're absolutely here to find your muscle memory. Now, take as many times, as many tries as you need. If you fall out, you just get back in. That's the practice of yoga. That's the practice of life. You have one more breath. Now everybody, just come all the way to the top of your mat. If you're onto your side, and then come all the way back, all the way down to a seat. Straighten out your legs, shake them out, let that go. Nice work today, guys. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Just hinge from your hips, lead your torso to the top of your thighs. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to deepen. Now if this is too much, you can always walk your hands down the edges of your thighs, bend your knees as much as you need, eventually coming to the blades of your feet and the tops of your feet. You can also place blocks for an extension past your feet or elevate your heels. Just surrender in. Allow this to lengthen. Just breathe. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Interlace your fingers to the blades of your feet. Inhale, lengthen, lift, reach. Exhale, bring your elbows to the outsides of your shins and slowly work back down. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, just come all the way back onto your backs. Find Uttanasana one more time. Hug your knees into your chest. This time reach for opposite elbows for a deeper compression. Inhale, happy baby. Send the soles of your feet up, draw your knees down. Just plug your shoulder blades back and down. Maybe rock side to side, left to right. So you can go a little bit deeper into your happy baby this time. Make your baby happy. And then slowly set the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Find a bridge pose, Setu Sarvangasana. Pull your hips up to the ceiling. Activate your glutes, activate your hamstrings. Option bow bridge. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Roll your shoulders underneath your shoulder blades. Lift up, reach. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Slowly lower your hips all the way down to your mat. Take your feet outside your mats. Just knock your knees side to side like windshield wipers, left to right. Let that go. Now take your right ankle on top of your left knee. Bring your arms out to a T, palms face down. Take both knees over to your right side. Find your supine twist. You should feel this stretch through your hip flexor, through your left hip, through your psoas. Inhale, slowly bring it back to your midline. And then exhale, switch it out. Take your left ankle on top of your right knee. Find the supine twist over to your left, gaze right. Inhale, slowly bring everything back into your midline. Now extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Find your legs up the wall pose. You can bend your knees as much as you need. Just surrender into your upper body. Allow the blood to drain down into your torso. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest or digest. Always good to do right before bed or anytime you have anxiety, overwhelm, or stress. Slowly lower your heels all the way down to the top of your mat. Once your heels touch the top of your mat, find yourself a good morning stretch. Inhale, reach your arms all the way above your head. Point your toes towards the front mirrors. Big stretch through your front side body. Big inhale, hold it at the top. Audible exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall out to the side, palms face up. Close your eyes, come into your final Shavasana.
Option to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need. Otherwise, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bring life back into your bodies. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let it go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. Just see if you can surrender a little bit further onto your mat, releasing any tension to your head, your neck, your jaw. When you're ready, work your way into a fetal position on your right or your left side. Your right side is your masculine energy, your left is your feminine. And then slowly work your way up to an easy seated pose, crossing at your ankles, lengthening through your spine, just sitting up tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way above your head. Take all that good energy, bring it down into your heart center, your heart space, your fourth chakra. Inhale your confidence, your self-love, your self-acceptance. And then exhale all your fears and doubts. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.